So, life, dude. It's crazy. I've spent the last few months, but really it's been like almost a year now of kind of realizing and processing this realization of oneness, just the truth in non-duality, you know, like just really absorbing that and letting it sink in. And I've spent a lot of time kind of just in this place of confusion, disorientation, just kind of like, just like what is this? Like, what is life? Like, how does this work? What's going on? This doesn't make sense. And then, you know, I'll fluctuate between that and then a place of like, just totally just being like just no hang-ups, no confusion, no thinking, really. Like, yeah, there's thinking, but it's much looser. It's not it's secondary. Like, I don't care, you know, like whatever thoughts are going on, because it's like there's this knowing, there's this, I'm in touch with this deeper place, you could say, where you recognize that all there is oneness. All there is awareness, or whatever you want to call it. Just whatever the substance of life is, that's all there really is. And when you can see that and live from that place, it's just peace. It's just freedom. There's no problems. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to understand, because it's beyond mental concepts. It's beyond the mind or the human mind. It's just pure being itself. And yeah, I've spent, for like the last year, I've just been kind of going in and out of these places of, you know, confusion and just being hung up, and then just total peace, and just like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm here, life's okay, it is what it is, you know. And I think one of the other hang-ups that I've had is like, if everything is one, if we're ultimately not separate, and ultimately we're okay, you know, there's just, like, ultimately there's just peace, there's just freedom, why does any of this like, why does any of this matter? Like, why do anything in general? But also, like, for me, because I've strongly been drawn towards being a coach, or a teacher, or whatever, in some capacity, and there's just like this thought of like, okay, if we're all free, if nothing's wrong, why why participate in that? Like what, like it just wasn't really like adding up. And I think it's the, well, I can see it now that it's my human mind trying to grasp something that is beyond the simplicity of the human mind. But like so like if I had to explain it, it's that like, yes, in the grand scheme of things, ultimately there is no problems, there is no separation, there is no separate you, separate me, there's nothing to do, there's nothing to fix. But within that, like at the same time as that truth, there is also the truth that on a more surface level, on a more experiential level, there does seem to be, there is like the felt experience of separation, of problems, of stuckness, of less than freedom, right? And they can coexist. They can both be true at the same time. I can be simultaneously suffering, stuck in my head, stuck in my feelings, feeling separate, while at the same time as that, there is the ultimate truth that who and what I am isn't this limited person and is ultimately free. It's like the suffering is just a perspective within this greater expanse of freedom. And obviously, we may not always see that deeper perspective. We may not always know it. And that is where, that's when we feel so cut off from life, and we feel so separate and full of lack, and just all of our problems arise. So yeah, it's like both things can be true. And you know, if you're talking about, okay, so if we're all one, if we're not separate, who's helping who? Like, who is there to help another person if it's just oneness ultimately? And like I said, in the big picture, in the ultimate level, there is no separate person to help another separate person. But there is the experience of that, you could say, or the appearance of that. But that is actually just a manifestation. That is just the movement of oneness, the movement of the only substance there is. And so this kind of ties into my thoughts on free will, which basically, free will doesn't exist in the way that we often think it does. One, because there is no separate person to have free will, right? You are ultimately just one. And two, there's no Like if you really pay attention to your choices, your will, it just happens. It's just spontaneous. Like anything that you do, anything that you choose, anything that occurs to you, it just happens. There's no like separate chooser. There's no, yes, we think about things. We go through the motions and the process of choosing, but why do we choose what we do? Why does what occurs to us occur to us? You know, why does it make sense to do it? And, you know, maybe there are, you know, reasons, but ultimately it just happens. It just is. It's like, why do I like mint and chip? Well, I like all ice cream, but like, why have I always liked mint and chip ice cream? I don't know. I just do. It just happens. It just is. And like, if you really analyze any choice you make, anything, it's just a spontaneous unfolding. So yeah, that ties me back to what I was saying before, is that, like, you know, when it comes to helping other people, on the surface level, on the human level, that's what it appears to be, that's what it feels like. It seems like I'm a separate person helping another separate person. And then at the same time, ultimately, it's just oneness appearing as separate people helping separate people. But it's just one movement. It's just one happening, ultimately. And it's really confusing. It's really hard to grasp mentally. But as I've been learning, you can't really grasp reality mentally. Like, you can speak about it and you can do your best to conceptualize, as I am right now. But it's not going to work. It's not going to make sense from a purely intellectual level. The best way to understand life is to be life. Is to sink in to the depths of yourself, the depths of this moment. It's to let go of thinking and to just, you know, be the fullness of life. It's in that stillness. It's in that just pure beingness that everything makes sense, so to speak. It like transcends. that stillness transcends the need to know. It provides you more than knowledge or concepts could ever provide. like it all just dissolves, right? In just that pure space of being. You don't need anything. You don't need to know anything. Nothing's wrong. Nothing's missing. So yeah, I don't know. Life. It's all good. It's all good, dude.